Now, if you're into knives, multi-tools, or just EDC gear in general, you might have already heard about the Smith Blade, which is a new product being offered by Hacksmith Industries on Kickstarter right now. And it has generated a lot of interest. In fact, it is already the highest grossing Kickstarter in this category ever, with $6 million raised, and they haven't even hit the midway point yet. But this has created a lot of questions, and people are talking about it. And today I kind of want to address a lot of those questions, including whether it's worth it. Is $250 too much? Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So let's get started. Now, when Hacksmith Industries spoiled this product about a year ago, they talked about having it be something that was around $150. But at that particular time, they planned on having the majority of those tools being made overseas in China. But things have changed. And now all of the premium models, all the titanium frame lock models in this lineup are all being made in Canada, in-house at Hacksmith, which is a pretty big departure from the way they were initially planning on releasing the tools. And this has caused some misunderstandings, and I think we need to kind of address that a little bit. First and foremost, the number one thing people are talking about right now is the price. And we're going to focus pretty much exclusively on the most expensive variation, which has all of the features, and that is the 21-in-1. The MSRP for that product is $290, I believe. And currently on Kickstarter, you can get it for around $250. But for the purposes of this video, we're only going to talk about it in the sense of its full price. Now, a lot of people have said that's a lot of money, and they're right. $290, $250, that is a lot of money. There's no question, that's a lot of money. But then in the same breath, a lot of people are also saying it's not a good value. And that is the part I want to push pretty hard against, because I wanted to verify for myself, is this a good value or not? And knowing that America and Canada both have very similar cost of living, the cost of labor actually in Canada is a little higher, and they have to import more things, I don't think that's the case at all. In fact, I went ahead and took a look at some of the biggest retailers of folding knives out there. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Knife Center, and Blade HQ. And I just did a sampling of all of the titanium frame lock knives that you can buy right now in M390 or 20CV, which is the American steel equivalency. How many knives do you think come in under $300 as the base price? Exactly 2. The models in question are the DPX Gear Heat F, which is $285 in M390, and also the other one is the ZT0022 in 20CV. Both of these knives are very tiny, with blade lengths below 2.5 inches, so not even close to the same size. If I expand the search out to all American-made frame lock knives in titanium for less than $300, the total number of knives is less than 6 currently in stock between those 3 brands, and none of those are in anything other than S35V, and I think one of them was S45. So as far as value is concerned, as a folding knife with nothing else, it is nowhere close to being above the normal. In fact, it's technically cheaper than anything being made in America. The longest blade, 3.35 inches, of anything in M390 with a titanium frame lock by comparison. Okay? So just to be clear, and that's assuming no other add-ons or functionality whatsoever. No other components. And as you will see here, there's a lot going on in the Smith Blade. So no, is it too much money? Not at all. In fact, I'm pretty shocked that they're able to make even a penny on the in-house version of the Smith Blade. Speaking of in-house, The implications of this on both the knife community as well as the multi-tool community cannot be understated. And they're not really emphasizing the thing that makes this so special. In addition to doing these searches, I also went ahead and tried to find any other Canadian-made modern folding knife that has premium materials. You know what I came up with? Zero. Not a single model whatsoever being made in Canada with modern materials, titanium, M390, etc., or anything even close. The only knives that I could find were way above. We're talking Grimsmo, which is starting out in a 4-figure sum practically. So that's more of a semi-custom, not a production knife. So as far as I know, this is one of the only Canadian-made premium folders that you'll be able to find. The implications of that are huge to the collector's market, which is where I'm going to go from here. If you are a collector of knives, this might not be one you can pass up. Over the course of 5 years, I have had more than 1,000 different model of folding knife come across this table for review, to take a look at, and so on. There's never been a single Canadian-made folder ever that has ever graced this table, not once in 5 years. So it's a big deal for me, beyond the fact that it's an awesome multi-tool, which we'll have to talk about more when we get the actual product. But that's big. And then on top of it, it has a very unique sound that comes from the addition of the 15-degree protractor, basically having multiple detent points around the blade. You got to see the video that Hacksmith made, focusing on the sound. It is unique in the knife world. And that's actually two things that collectors are looking for. Exclusivity, meaning only folder maybe that you own made in Canada, but also unique. And man, is this thing unique. And that's just as the folder, not even the multi-tool aspect of it. So yeah, if you're a collector, you might want to consider this one for sure, especially getting in at $250 versus the $290 that it will eventually be. In addition, I want to re-emphasize the fact that this thing is Canadian made. If you are one of the 40 million plus Canadians out there looking for a multi-tool that you can be really proud of, and based on the incredible amount of thought put into it, I think you should be, you should probably consider this, right? Because the cost of, say, a Leatherman Arc in Canada, it's absurd. Significantly more money than we pay here in America. When we're comparing $250 for the Arc to $250 for the Smith blade, there might be some arguments there, one way or another. But when it comes to living in Canada and making the choice between the two, it's not really a choice. I don't know how much more the Arc is, but I know it's a lot. I know last time I remember somebody said it was like 450 Canadian. That's a lot of money converted into US. But regardless, that is definitely something to consider if you are a Canadian citizen. Pretty cool. Now, I have to bring this up. Now, I know we don't have it yet, but the thing that stood out to me the most when I looked at this, and I still have a hard time believing, is that the 21-in-1, the premium version of this Smith blade, is only weighing 95 grams or 3.3 ounces. Let me give you an idea what that equals to. That is approximately the weight of the Pioneer X, the 93mm Swiss Army knife, or around that same weight is something like the Huntsman. That is lighter, in fact, than this, the Tactile Knife Co. Maverick with titanium scales. This is 3.9. This is 15 grams heavier than the Smith blade with the bits. That's insane. And in fact, I think if you combine the weight of the Smith blade and a small pocket plier, and I have to check this, I will in a future video, that actually ends up being lighter in combination than a Leatherman Skeletool in some cases. I have to do this. I will confirm that somewhere when I actually measure the weight of the Knipex 100 millimeter Cobra and combine the two weights. But I cannot say enough how big of an impact this is likely to make, not just to the knife industry, but also to the multi-tool industry as well. I'm very excited about this. I have already made a purchase for all 3 models on Kickstarter. Easy for me. In fact, just having this conversation has made me realize I'm probably going to end up buying another one that is designed with the non-locking blade and is legal in Europe. The fact that they even offer that option is also a pretty big deal, right? German legal, UK legal, under 3 inches in blade length. They have thought of so many things. This is the kind of thorough thinking that I want to see from every single brand that makes a multi-tool. I couldn't be more excited about this. And just in case anybody was wondering, oh, you're some kind of shill. Not only are they not paying me, I'm buying everything myself. And the link down to the Kickstarter below is not an affiliate link in any way. So back off. This is something I'm very excited about. And I'm really happy to see another company throwing their hat into a market that I value very highly. That's pretty much all I want to say today. So if you were thinking about doing it, do it. I don't say that often, but this one is probably worth getting into. As always, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.